there's a difference between thirst and hunger in this industry. I think thirsty is a bad word. I think hungry is a really good word, but don't take anything personally. If someone's having a bad day, let them have a bad day.
Yeah.
You can try to talk them off the ledge. You can try to make them feel better, but don't let them in so much that it's like brings you down. Don't take it personally. I don't care about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
I don't care about people pleasing what's the void behind the camera or the the universe that I send my audition tape into. I don't care if they want me.
Howdy fam, and welcome to another episode of Dang Life Mastery. In this episode, we are going to start exploring a direction of someplace I've been wanting to take this show. That is into exploring the other side of me, my other passion, which is the world of cinema and acting and filmmaking. In this direction, we're going to talk to producers, we're going to talk to directors, talk to some people in the casting world, definitely talk to some actors. To open the door to this direction, I am bringing on a buddy of mine, Tony Robinette, who is a brilliant actor who is out here in Los Angeles carving his journey. You may have seen him on such shows as The Offer on Paramount Plus or on Monsters on Netflix. This guy has been really doing phenomenal in the game. And his career is on the growth and on the rise, and he's somebody to watch out for sure. So I wanted to bring him onto the show to learn more about him and learn more about his journey and learn more about some things that he uses to elevate himself in his journey from the other actors out here. I find it super valuable in the journey of mastering this dang life to learn from others. Learn from others who are succeeding at a different level than you know, because there's always something to learn from somebody and always something to apply from somebody's knowledge and experience in this journey. So please check out the whole episode and please hit the like button if you like this episode. Please hit subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll be notified of when new episodes come out. I am working on getting more episodes out for you. With that, please enjoy this lovely conversation with Tony Robinette. Tony, thanks so much for joining us.
No worries, brother.
Tony is like, man, this guy's been on booking fire for like the last 4 or 5 years now.
Yep, grateful.
Amazing. I love that. That's spectacular.
Totally.
So he's a very talented actor. He's a buddy of mine. And we're going to talk to him about being a booking king.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I have my coffee. I have my chocolate. I have you.
Beautiful. Yeah. And you gave me some chocolate, which is amazing. I love it.
Okay, so it's just you. He lives in a neighborhood that's awesome because he has like this little Armenian Middle Eastern bakery that's literally just the block over. Yeah. And I parked over there, and they have Dubai chocolate. If you haven't seen Dubai chocolate or Googled it, it's basically chocolate with pistachio cream, and you open it up and like this, there's this green, beautiful creaminess to it. It's awesome.
I am so excited to eat it.
Yep.
You said it's kind of like a Kit Kat bar, but with pistachio cream?
So it's basically chocolate. I think yours is dark chocolate. It's dark chocolate, and in the middle is dried phyllo dough that's like cooked in butter, and then pistachio cream is added. Oh. And so it's like a mixture of crispy phyllo dough and pistachio cream in the middle.
I'm excited.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Little do you know, one of my favorite ice creams is actually pistachio ice cream.
I think pistachio is underrated because I used to hate it as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because I hated it as a kid because one time I ordered pistachio ice cream from Baskin-Robbins thinking it was mint chocolate chip.
Easy to mix up.
So I was like I was not a fan of pistachio. And believe it or not, what made me a fan of pistachio again is Starbucks came out with like this pistachio cold foam latte.
Okay.
I really don't drink Starbucks that often, in a pinch, but it was really good.
Ooh.
Because it was like pistachio cold foam, so it had like this sweet pistachio foam on top of it. Ooh. It was really good.
Look at Starbucks.
Yes.
Always being inventive with these things.
Yes, exactly. We don't want to give them our money, but it's inventive and it's good.
I mean, they're in good company for the most part.
Yeah, I'm glad they're going union. I'm glad, but come on.
Yeah. I mean, one step at a time.
Mm-hmm. We live in such an amazing, diverse city where everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
And you just have to, well, I don't say everybody has a chance, but there's so many smaller businesses and little mom and pop coffee shops, mom and pop bakeries.
Yeah.
That it's like, I'd rather give my money to them than give it to a massive corporation,
A massive corporation that loads their drinks with a little too much sugar in it.
A little bit too much sugar and chemicals and makes it addicting because that's what we love.
Yeah.
It's like fast food.
That's another that's actually like that's something that's been really, really, really getting on my radar a lot is just like the nutritional state in this country. That's a whole nother
body by McDonald's.
Hey, love it.
Body by McDonald's.
Like
and you're like eat raw, and you probably have like, oh, I'm gonna have you're fasting today, right?
I am, yeah.
See, that takes a lot of guts. No pun intended.
It takes both. Yes, it does.
And I bet his poop stinks. Like
no, my poop is actually really, really great. It doesn't stink at all.
Okay,
because I'm vegetarian, so I eat mostly vegetables.
Okay. Except for the milk that you're gonna have.
I mean, that's like I'm
treat yourself.
I'm vegetarian, so.
Do you ever miss things as a vegetarian? Do you ever go, hey,
bro,
I want a slice of bacon
all the time.
I want a slice of bacon, or I want a cheeseburger, or
I do miss burgers, but like then I go to Burger King and I get one of their Impossible Whoppers, and it's not good. Totally jacks my. It actually tastes like a burger, but it's so ultra processed that my stomach just goes.
Yeah, and then you feel like somebody's punching you in the gut.
Exactly, literally. It's It actually just happened to me on Saturday. I told myself that I was not going to eat Burger King any longer, and I went and I ate Burger King because it was convenient.
See, when I go to Burger King, I order the same thing and one thing only. I think their fish sandwich is like fire. I think they have one of the best fish sandwiches. It's one of those things where not everybody orders it, so it's always fresh. So it's not just like sitting around. But if you don't eat meat, you're not even pescatarian, are you?
No, I don't like fish. Fish has always been kind of weird and funky to me.
I want to try jackfruit. I heard jackfruit.
Jackfruit's good.
As a substitute
tacos are delicious.
For like actually bulgogi or
carnitas. Oh my god, jackfruit carnitas are fire,
like
bro.
It's a pulled pork substitute. It's like a brisket substitute. It's a pulled chicken substitute.
It's like fire. I haven't cooked it, but I've heard that actually like jackfruit by itself is really delicious. I haven't bought a jackfruit because it's like massive.
And it's hard. It's like you need basically like a table saw to open it. I don't know. I might be thinking of durian.
That might be durian.
Because durian stinks. I know that.
Yeah, durian stinks. But it tastes good. I've tried it. It has a particular flavor to it. If you can get past the stink, then the taste is good.
Durian's great.
Yeah.
Durian's great. It's like it's almost like a custard creamy, but again, it smells like a diaper. Like
I've only had it once in my life in Malaysia, and it's something to try. Yeah, for sure.
It's a bucket list thing. It's like having a balut, like. It's a Filipino dish. Balut is the duck egg. Okay. I'll leave it at that.
That reminds me of like Filipino, like when I first moved
it's considered a delicacy.
Okay.
In the Philippines. It's not everyone's jam. I say you don't know if you like it until you try it.
Why'd you say you'll leave it at that?
Because I think a lot of Western people would hear about balut and just be like, oh, and immediately turn off their brain because they're not open to the idea of it. Basically, it's an unhatched embryo. Okay. And so when you eat the balut, you can you peel back the shell. Yeah. There is a chance you're going to see feathers and eggs and cartilage. I'm sorry, feathers and beaks and cartilage and stuff like that. And so, but it's really soft. Yeah. And people you put some hot sauce on it and you eat it. Yeah. And again, not everyone's jam.
Not mine.
It's a delicacy. I've tried it once. I have a t-shirt. I don't need to do it again. But it's like going to another foreign country. Enjoy it? I tried it once. I have a t-shirt. But I'm also an adventurous eater. Like I'll go to Thailand and have a scorpion. I'll try scorpions or crickets. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't try.
Or grubs.
Grubs are like worms, right?
Mm-hmm. I've done it all. I'm not.
How are grubs?
Do I look like a picky eater?
How are grubs?
Yeah. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
I did it just so I could say I've done it.
Like really squishy.
Yeah.
Like,
but sometimes it just depends on how they're making. I mean, you could deep fry these things and it tastes like popcorn chicken.
Yeah. No, when I went to Mexico, they sell crickets like they sell like on the street side, like they sell like Mexican corn. Yeah. And they sell crickets on the street side, and I was just like, this is the weirdest thing. And they did it in Korea too. Yep. Which is like, oh. Good.
And then you go, am I judging because I just don't know? Or am I, you know what I mean?
But, you know, they're actually, insects I've heard are probably some of the most nutritious things that we can consume. And they're very high protein. They're very low in fat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're plentiful.
They're plentiful. But I'm good. I like my fruits. I like my vegetables. Yes. Yeah.
And I like my meat.
When you spoke of balut, duck egg?
Balut, yeah.
It reminded me of when I first moved to LA and I had a Filipino friend, and we went to this really authentic and delicious Filipino restaurant, and she ordered intestine, and she had me try it.
Like intestine or tripe, or
Tripe, yeah.
And it almost looks like a honeycomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Not my thing.
Maybe... I think it was in my brain.
It's like eating liver. It's like eating liver. Like
I've never eat liver.
I don't like liver.
No. What does it taste like?
It's gamey. It has a very. It's a texture thing. No.
You know, the most delicious meat I think I'd ever tried was venison. That was.
You've never had ostrich though, have you?
Ostrich is fantastic. Not had ostrich.
I've had ostrich and it was really good.
Yeah.
And I've had kangaroo and it's really good.
Ooh. That sounds like quite a delicacy, actually.
I've had people.
Did you have kangaroo in Australia? You had people?
No.
Okay, Mr. Cronenberg. Wait. What was that? Is it Army Hammer? Did you hear it? Like his?
No.
Yeah, he had a cannibal incident or something like that in 2020. I read about that. I was like,
Army Hammer's like so out there. Any story about Army Hammer, you're like, I believe it and I don't.
I read an article. I don't know if it's true. So like,
it's like Richard Gere with the gerbil. You're like, did it happen?
Oh man.
I don't know what the rating on this podcast is. If it's like,
it's a YouTube channel. It'll turn into a Spotify thing.
I'll try not to curse so I don't demonetize it.
I don't. Yeah. Thank you. The last one we did swear on. I try not to curse anymore.
Yep.
My first my first short film that I made after the feature film, but I wrote this one, A Very Psychedelic Christmas. We wrote it with swear words, but we let the actors improv it, and it just became so sweary. And I didn't even realize it until after I showed it to my family. My family was offended.
It was a Quentin Tarantino film after everything was said and done.
Kind of, sort of, but it was a rom-com. It was a rom-com Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. We've gotten good reviews from it, but it's just extremely sweary, and I told myself I'm going to back down on that in my films going forward.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So
think it for everybody. Yeah, some people don't like swearing.
Yeah.
Some people love it.
I know. I mean, I used to love swearing.
I love swearing.
What's
your favorite curse word? I just saw Kamala Harris interview where they're like, what's your favorite curse word? And she's like, I can't say it. And they're like, please say it.
She said it?
I don't remember if she said it or not, but she's like, oh, I can't say. Like I think she dodged the question just beautifully.
I really like fuck.
Okay.
I feel like that's just a very... It has a lot of intention to it. And it's hard to displace the utility of that word in certain circumstances. Like, my parents used to get so pissed off at me when I was a kid about swearing, because I was the one with the potty mouth. I was the black sheep of the family. They got so mad at me. I'm like, it has its purpose. If it wouldn't
Yes.
be in language if it didn't have its purpose.
And take away the power of the word.
Yeah. But as the yogi in me is starting to grow, I'm starting to realize the frequency behind swear words more. And so I've started finding other words to replace them. So like instead of saying shit, I'll say Shakti. Shakti she's a divine feminine spirit, but also she's like life force.
Yeah,
energy.
totally.
And so like instead of saying shit, call on power.
Shakti.
Yeah. You know, it works pretty well, actually.
And if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah. I've actually got my roommate to start saying it now too.
Yeah.
And so he's just like Shakti every now and then. I'm like, I love it. Winning at the game of life.
Exactly. Mine, I think, is see you next Tuesday.
I was gonna say that one actually.
I think see you next Tuesday is my favorite. My favorite.
It's a good one.
It's blunt, but
it's like very. It's again one of those words that's
sharp.
Very to the point.
Yeah.
With its utility and its usage.
Mm-hmm.
They all have utility.
100%.
You know, so like I'm not gonna ever disavow them.
But I also think that state of mind is not necessarily a word you would call someone.
No.
It's like you can be that word.
Yeah.
But you are not that word.
See you next Tuesday. It took me like a hot second.
Yeah. It's like runt, but without the other. The runt.
But replacing the R.
Yes. So.
Oh, man. Tony, I love you, bro. You're so fun.
Thank you. So we've known each other satellite-wise, I think.
We actually
4 years, 5 years.
We met right after COVID. I hit you up on Facebook.
It's like, hey, let's go get coffee or something.
Yeah, let's get coffee because like you.
Where did
like
we go?
We went to this cute little coffee shop in
Burbank.
downtown Burbank. I forget what they're called, but it's a really cool little place.
I remember it.
And they have awesome tea too.
Is it not Mobile? Whatever. I know which one you're talking about.
I don't remember the name of it. I never remember the name of this place.
No, I remember it though.
Yeah. So we went there. I was scouting Tony because I have a TV series that I'd written with my writing partner.
I didn't even know this.
You did? Really?
Did I know this? Did I know this?
I think I told you about it.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, we have a TV series that we wrote, but we're now stuck in the process of developing IP for the TV series because Hollywood is so IP.
You don't want it to get taken away from you.
Yeah, but I mean,
you need to protect it.
It's an expensive show. It's a sci-fi, fantasy, action, adventure, awesome series. It will get made one of these days, but
yeah,
and there is a role for you in it.
I'm here for you. Have your people call my people.
Yeah, totally. But so you're like the booking king, man, and I've started working with you, doing audition coaching, and I love it. Like you're really great with finding choices, and I think I kind of wanted to talk with you about that today.
Okay.
Like, what do you feel like makes your audition stand out above the rest?
I don't know. Honestly, I could not tell you a definitive answer. Okay. I can only tell you about my process, and before I get started with that, I will tell you, I think everyone's process is different. Everyone's process can be as sacred as they want it to be. You never have to defend your process. You never have to explain your process. Everyone has their own personal journey with their process. My process is I don't give a fuck. I don't care about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
I don't care about people pleasing what's the void behind the camera or the the universe that I send my audition tape into. I don't care if they want me.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do what I think is best. I'm going to put it out there into the world. And if you like it, great. If you don't, great. I don't care. You know what I mean? I think that I think people get caught up on disliking auditions because they feel like they're searching for what the audience member wants to see. It's like, no, your interpretation is what's going to get you to the next level when it's time.
Do you feel like in the auditioning process, it's hard to cultivate authenticity like it is in when you book the role and you have the time to really understand who the character is, versus in the auditioning process, it's so short and it's so mitigated and so quick?
I personally think they want to see you.
Mm.
They want to see Tony in the work. They want to see you.
Mm.
They want to see me. They want to see what you bring to the table.
Mm.
So when it comes to character, it's just like I interpret it the way that I would. It's what Tony does, but in extreme circumstances.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not building backstory for an audition, or if I am, I'm very unaware of it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know, but I also believe that we have to take care of ourselves too. And it's like a lot of these, and we've been with teachers like this. A lot of teachers are like, "Oh, you need to bring up all your trauma," and it's like, but if I don't know how to safely unpack that,
Yeah.
and then use it, and then safely pack it back up and file it away, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Trauma-based auditioning.
I've done the work with it before, and I enjoy it because it part of the process, I feel like, is the healing process, and I feel like that's served for the training of the actor, and it's in service for people who need it. Like for me, for example, it was very necessary. My background in my work is Eric Morris's process, Eric Morris's technique, which is it's very much about just being present and being here now, which is really just all acting. But it's
Miser's the same way. It's very like living in your truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's also working to get through the layers of emotions that we tend to package down and not have access to through childhood. And I had a lot of that. A lot of things that I just couldn't access.
Yeah.
And so a lot of Eric's work is it's Jungian in its setup, Carl Jung. And so he uses a lot of therapeutic techniques converted into acting techniques to start unpackaging the emotion to allow an actor to actually really truly feel and be in that emotion, in that state.
Yeah.
As my journey has progressed, it's shifted a lot. Now it's really like I just know what I want to be and I be it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's similar to what I do, where it's like I don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Like, because if I overthink it, I'm going to overanalyze it, and then I'm probably not going to come across as authentic because I'm pushing too hard.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, my process is if I don't overthink it and I just do it, even if I can't explain it to myself, be like, this is the reason you're doing it, it's fine. You know what I mean? I just literally just do it. I don't overthink it.
So like,
not to say that overthinking it doesn't work, because again, everybody's process is different and sacred to themselves. And whatever works for you works for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like whether you're Stanislavski, Stella Adler, Meisner, Eric Morris, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, Viola, if you come from an improv-based world.
Viola Spolin, genius. I love her work.
You know? Or even there's a, for a long time I explored, do you know who Jacques Lecoq is?
I don't, actually.
Oh, it's amazing. So Jacques Lecoq is a physically based acting teacher. There's a book by him, Jacques Lecoq, and it's a lot of like the Cirque du Soleil actors use him. Ooh, and a lot of like a lot of mime and clowning. It's basically acting as an athlete kind of deal, where you use the physical body more than anything. Very cool. Very cool. You would probably love it. You'd probably go down the rabbit hole and be like, this is awesome. Read his book. I forgot what it's called, but it's Jacques Lecoq.
Is there a lot of utility for that in on-camera work?
That I don't think so.
It feels like it's more stage.
It's more stage and
performance.
more stage circus clowning.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's a transference of energy. So I'm sure you could use it in.
It's taking that and then packaging it and making it a lot smaller.
Exactly.
On-camera work is more
intimate,
Yeah.
and it's more like that lens and that microphone do all the work for us.
Yeah.
Not all the work, but 75 to 80% of the work for us.
Yeah.
Whereas on stage, we're huge and we have to be big and we have to emote
Yeah.
and we have to show our emotions more than, we would have to on camera.
Do you enjoy stage?
I do. I miss it.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it.
Do you do much of it?
Not anymore.
No.
So my journey started, my very first performing job was I'm from Orlando. My very first performing job when I was 16 was Disney World.
Ooh.
Jumping around in a hot suit.
What were you doing?
I was Pluto, I was Eeyore, I was Rafiki, I was all these characters.
Sounds so fun.
I did parades, and then I got a job doing a puppeteering job where we went around the country and we played like high school or like middle school auditoriums.
Okay.
And we did like fairy tales, like giant puppets and stuff like that. And then after that, I was part of a 3-person comedy team in a international touring show called Disney Live Winnie the Pooh. And it was the same people who owned Ringling Brothers and Disney on Ice and all that. And so I did that. Ooh. Then I went back to Orlando, got my improv chops sharpened at Disney World doing improv.
Okay.
Got my equity card there.
What kind of improv at Disney World? I
was part of a team called the Citizens of Hollywood, or it was called Streetmosphere. And basically they gave you a character. My character was this 1940s boy off the bus who just came into Hollywood. Okay. And so I was like this wide-eyed Hollywood guy. And it was great because in a corporate setting like Disney, you wouldn't expect any of this, but they were like, you get to form your own character. You get to name yourself. Let's talk about how your costume's going to be. And they tailor make a costume for you. Really? Yeah. So I was Melvin Machismo. Ooh. Melvin Machismo, future actor extraordinaire. And I was a kid off the bus who just got into Hollywood. And I was going to be the next Mickey Rooney, the next big star. And we basically did skits on the street, lots of character-driven improv. That sounds really fun. It was a blast. It was one of the best jobs that I've ever had. I would not want to go do it again because it was lightning in a bottle. And so. How long did you do it for? 4 years. Oh, wow. Yeah, 4 years. Oh, that must have been great training for you. It was amazing training. Yeah. Did you always play the same character then? Mm-hmm. For the 4 years? Yeah. Every day. Did you get sick of it? Some days were easy, some days weren't. Okay. Like when you're in 98 degrees with 100% humidity and you're wearing a 3-piece suit. Yeah, and the sun is just barreling down on you and you're just like, your body's numb because it's so hot. Yeah, it's... How long were your shows? In the height of summer, it was 20 minutes per show, like 5 times a day. Normally it was like half an hour, 5 times a day. Okay. Wow. So is that kind of how you got bit by the bug of acting? No, actually, like a lot of things, my sister passed away when I was 10. She was 12. I think my mom put me in one of those terrible John Casablanca kind of like, you can learn how to be confident and be a model and be an actor. Oh, like one of those scammy acting schools to build my confidence and to, help me deal with that trauma. Oh, that seems like a really interesting way to go about it. But I got the bug that way. And then when I was 10, I started obsessively watching silent film. Okay. Like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Laurel and Hardy. Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin are amazing. Obsessively watching it. Like I was pretty much like Rain Man when it came to facts about Chaplin. It's like, give me his birthday, and I'd be like, April 16th, 1889. You know what I mean? Or 4 days before Hitler. Weird.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. Hitler was born on 420.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So, but okay, I know
it's ironic that
I know it's
Chaplin
a
played
twirl
Hitler too.
in The Great Dictator,
Yeah.
1940, and it's ironic that that's the first film Charlie Chaplin decided to speak in.
That's so interesting.
When the
that
medium
kind of gives me chills right now, to be
the
honest.
talkie medium was around for 13 years almost.
Yeah.
Before Chaplin started making a talkie.
Interesting.
And his first talkie was like, okay, I'm going to get political.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of the best. If you have not seen the ending monologue from the Charlie Chaplin film, The Great Dictator,
Classic.
YouTube The Great Dictator speech. In fact, I'm going to tell him, put the link somewhere. The Great Dictator speech. It's more relevant, not to get political, but it's more relevant now more than ever.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor, go down the rabbit hole watching those great clowns, Chaplin, Keaton, Lloyd, and those were my teachers growing up.
I love that.
Bill Irwin, who's still with us. Bill Irwin, he's actually film and TV as well. Bill Irwin he was Cindy Lou's dad in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey film. But he's like a world-renowned clown in the United States and everywhere. And so he's written his own shows. He does a lot of Beckett. Like he'll go be in a random production of Waiting for Godot. Okay. You know what I mean? Or he actually has written his entire show based around the works of Beckett. And it's almost like a lecture about Samuel Beckett.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
So did you ever was the Disney World thing, that was more of like improv in the park, like a section that did you ever do like any classic stage?
So one of my mentors, his name is Richard With. He was amazing. I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school, and Orlando had the Orlando Shakespeare Festival. Huge Shakespeare Festival. And I remember one summer, I was a terrible student in high school. Terrible student. Like I got terrible grades. My mom would check my backpack to make sure I didn't have like Charlie Chaplin biographies and Laurel and Hardy books and stuff like she literally would.
Really?
Yeah. I hated high school. And I remember conning my parents into it. I'm like, well, Mom, if I do this theater show during the summer, they'll give me high school credits. And they did. They gave you like half a credit, but I was like, they're going to give me 3 credits if I do this, or 2 credits if I do this. Awesome. And so I remember Richard at the audition, and he's like, you need to prepare a monologue, and I prepared something from like Caesar, or some like a Caesar monologue, and then he stopped me. He goes, "Read this," and I said, "Okay," I read it. And, I took 5 minutes and I came back and I read it. And he goes, "Do you know what you're saying?" And I go, No, I don't. And he took the time and he's like, "So this is what's happening." And he paraphrased every line of Shakespeare. And it was for a show called The Tempest. And I played Trinculo in The Tempest, who is one of the clowns.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then that same summer, because they did 2 shows, he was the one who was like, I'm going to cast you as this role in this show. And it's totally against everything you've ever done because you're a funny guy. And then he cast me in Merchant of Venice as Shylock. And we did a weird version of Shylock. We did it where it was more like, because this was back in, 99? 98. And he was like, we're going to do, I want our Shylock, this is high school. I want my Shylock to be one, and how relevant it is now is shocking. He goes, I want my Shylock to be one of the Columbine shooters. Like, he hates everyone because everyone he's been bullied all of his life by all these people. He goes, I want the people to feel sorry for Shylock. Because back in Shakespearean days, Merchant of Venice was a comedy. You can't play it as a comedy now.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way you could play it as a comedy. So our merchant was basically in that vein of the villain isn't really the villain. He's just been bullied so much by everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that he loses everything.
Wow.
Yeah, deep, very deep.
That's an intense version of the story.
And he did a thing with us called actor audience, and he was very big on like F the fourth wall. I want you to break it open. And to the point where it's like the monologue starts, hath nodded you eyes, hath nodded you hands. Take it to the audience. Make eye contact with somebody. Hath nodded you eyes. Wait for them to almost answer.
That sounds almost like how Shakespeare was originally, though.
Yeah.
Like it was for the audience.
Wait for them to answer. Almost like, have nodded you hands. Like they're connected with you so much that, you know how when you're connected to material, sometimes your body almost goes numb.
Yeah.
I reached that state in that. So he taught me
such a blessing at such a young age too.
Yeah, Shakespeare, he got me into Shakespeare. But I haven't been like a classical theater person. It's been more like broad, kitschy, clowning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sounds fun though, nonetheless. Like any it's always fascinating, like exploring how people find their way into this crazy craft of ours, you know.
And then for a long time I was like, I leaned into comedy to the point where I was like, no, I don't do drama. You know how, because if you could ask 10 actors right now, are you comfortable with comedy? And I guarantee you there's going to be a mix of people saying, nope, I don't like doing comedy. I'm not good at comedy. I want to do drama. Because they lean into drama, and drama is just a skill that they have picked up and it's easier for them. And some people will say comedy is the hardest thing on earth because there's a lot more rules. There's a lot more formulas. There's a lot more like...
It's very beat by beat.
It's beat by beat. It's very bump set. I compare it to the sport of volleyball. Like there's jokes. There's the bump, there's a set, and now the spike. And then it's just on constant repeat, especially if it's for television.
Yeah.
It's like bump, set, spike, laugh track. Bump, set, spike, laugh track. Bump, set, spike, laugh track. And then they might switch it up and go bump, laugh track. Bump, set, spike, and then go right back into the formula.
Yeah.
You know?
Admittedly, I find comedy to be more difficult. I didn't grow up
It's more technical. And you're an organic actor.
Yeah.
And I'm more of an organic actor because my comedy comes from more of an improv base. And so I have sometimes an issue when it's so technical. But at the same time, the technical aspects I think are ingrained into me that I get the technical aspects and I'm able to play with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Because you're an organic actor, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like to, the reason why I act really, and it's evolved over the years, but it allows me, it's almost like a playground for my shadows. It allows me to live my whole beingness that doesn't generally live in my day-to-day life. And that's generally why I'd like to sway towards darker characters. Because in my regular life, I'm more of a yogi, and that's just happening more and more and more, just like it calls. And so I go.
But I mean, look at him. You're like living the life of a yogi.
Yeah, but because of that, I like to play in my shadows a lot because it gives room for that part of me to live, and for that part of me to not be suppressed. Then, and I think that living as whole of a being as possible is important.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm loving because I love going here. I love that there's more representation right now.
Oh yeah. In
Hollywood. Absolutely. Not enough.
Not enough.
Let me be very clear.
It's getting there.
But you have Dev Patel. You have
I love Dev Patel.
You have Riz Ahmed.
I love Rizzo.
Like,
Yeah, they're great.
I mean,
even
Metal Silence of Metal is a phenomenal film.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
great.
like,
Yeah.
Even Oscar Isaac, you know.
Oscar Isaac's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love him. Richa, she's a friend of mine in Never Have I Ever. She's really great too, and she didn't get to shine too much in that show, but she's fantastic. She's in Fargo now, which is I'm really happy for her because that gives her the opportunity to shine a little bit more.
And they just won a few Emmys, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yay for Fargo.
Yeah. Yay for Fargo.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, my biggest beef about representation in Hollywood now, though, is that diversity, it seems to just, it has to fill a bucket in
Correct.
Hollywood, versus like if you go across the ocean to England, the UK, and the UK does it beautifully with representation.
Mm-hmm.
They just have people of color who are
just existing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the brown person in the brown show or the black person in the black show.
Or the brown person who is playing a doctor, or worse, a brown person being a terrorist.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's like, I actually had a discussion with a mutual friend of ours, my friend Deep.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to know that I'm being submitted. He literally told his managers or agents, I want to know that I'm being submitted for more than just the doctor.
Yeah.
And more than just the taxi driver.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I be the love interest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something that I've had conversations with my black reps for before.
Yeah.
And from the auditions I get, I'm grateful that they see very clearly.
Yeah.
And they, like, for much of my career for the past 4 or 5 years, like at least from the auditions, man, they've been really, really solid with just like being aggressive with getting different types of characters.
And at the end of the day, they can only do so much.
Yeah.
They can only submit you and maybe pitch you.
Yeah.
And if they pitch you too hard, they're being annoying.
Yeah.
And then they're like, their ass is on the line.
Yeah.
So good for them for just going, you know, getting in there.
Yeah. No, I'm very grateful for it. Like they work hard, and I'm, you know, it takes time to get back onto a booking state though. So have you had periods in your career where it wasn't working for you?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I came to LA in 2012. I immediately started seeing success because I set myself up on how to, you know, live in this world while I was living in the Southeast.
Mm.
And this was before Atlanta became hot.
Mm.
So I was just living in Florida. My first year was amazing. My second year was quiet. It was quiet. I think I went a year and a half, 2 years without booking anything.
Mm.
I was eating peanut butter for dinner. I was so broke. I was so broke that I remember going, if I had enough gas, I could go pawn my TV.
Mm.
But I don't think I have enough gas to get to the pawn shop.
Sheesh.
Like, it was that bad.
Yes.
And I was working a day job a lot.
Mm.
I owned a house in Florida that I was getting rent from, but I was just making zero.
Mm.
Just making zero. So it was like, what can you do with nothing? You can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like my rent would literally pay my rent.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
Like, so, and I still had to come up with my bill money and, you know, my taxes and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, there was like a year and a half, 2 years where it was literally crickets.
Did you have a point where you just felt like, no, I'm throwing in the towel?
No.
No. Uh-huh.
No.
No.
I had a point, and I still have from this point. I have a point where I go, maybe one day I'll get out of this and go into management or into being an agent, because I like the business side of it sometimes more than the art side of it.
Really?
To be quite honest with you. Oh my gosh, yes.
What about the business side do you like?
It's not control, because there's actually less control on the business side, I think.
Really?
I just like the marketing side. I like the pitching side. I like the steps. I like the puzzle pieces. Because I think this business is 75% that and like 25% our craft. But the craft,
very much a business
the craft
industry.
is, I think, denser than the business.
Yeah.
But the business, you have to know the business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So something that you've done pretty well then, it seems, is learn how to navigate the business end of this crazy acting career.
Yep.
What are some things that you do to stand above the rest when it comes to the business?
Easy.
Yeah.
Celebrate every win. Celebrate every win. Celebrate every win. Promote yourself. It is not bragging. It is not being cocky. No one's going to do it for you except you. And this is one of those things. This is one of those industries where we have to jump up in the air and go, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
You can do that with grace.
Yeah.
Anybody who follows me on Instagram, you know when I'm auditioning.
Yeah.
You know when I book something. You know when I have a callback. You know when I applaud others.
So you say post about the auditions?
I vaguely. I say, hey, I just had a really great audition today. It's a great day.
Okay.
I'm not telling you, hey, I just auditioned for this project with this casting director.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, this is my win for the day. I had the opportunity to audition for a great comedy. Yay.
Every audition you do that?
Not every audition. When I feel like I just need to share it to the world.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some people who look at it going, oh, he's bragging. I'm like, well, obviously you don't know me.
Yeah.
And you might look at it as bragging, but I'm just looking at it because I follow casting directors. I follow my reps. I will tag every team member in it. I have a firm belief that it's not me, it's we. So it's like, if you even look on my Instagram now, the bookings that have happened, I say we booked it.
Yeah.
Because it's not about me. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
That's actually something that I've taken from you.
Yeah, good.
I will be honest.
Good. And it means more to your team than you will ever know.
Yeah. Yeah. I always speak in the we about this and about this craft, about this career, because it's not just me. It is very much my team. Like, because they're on the other end of it, like submitting me.
And your team includes your teachers and your coaches.
Yeah.
And the mentors that got you into the industry 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mentioned Richard With, one of my mentors. I have two amazing mentors in my life that I will never forget. And every time I come to a milestone in my career, I send them a message. And let them, I get emotional about it. But I'm like, hey, Richard, I just want to let you know and remind you that you got me into this world. And I just booked a 12 episode recurring part on X show. Thank you.
Yeah.
You helped me into this world. You're part of that drama.
Yeah.
You're part of that. You're part of this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same with my high school drama teacher. Hey, Elizabeth, I just want to let you know that this is happening and you mean the world to me. And without you, I probably would not be doing this.
I love that.
And I check in with my very first agent in Florida. Hey, Louise, hope all is well. I just want to let you know you believed in me back in Florida, and there was not much of a market, but you submitted me and you sent me out, and you cheered me on when I said, hey, I'm moving away from Florida, and this is what's happening. And then she's like, great. Never forget your mentors.
Yeah. Never forget your mentors.
It's a huge part of my life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And my parents haven't always been supportive, but I thank them just as much.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they could have forced me to do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know wholeheartedly what you mean.
Yes.
Especially coming from an Indian family where like everybody
get a real job.
That part. That part. And like
get a real job.
Yeah. And being in this like state.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say get a real job.
Dude.
I'm like, you mean a civilian job?
But I will say this though. Like I'm at the point in my life now where I'm still creating and I'm still auditioning, and things have kind of just been in their whatever period right now. And so I'm looking to cultivate more stability financially.
Of
But
course.
everything always comes down to, how do I find something that fits around my passion of acting and filmmaking?
And I think that's the right way to go. The center is everything.
Yeah.
We're revolving around we're in our own solar system.
Yeah.
We're revolving around the sun.
Yeah.
What's the sun?
Yeah.
The sun is our acting world. It's our performing. It's what feeds us. It's what gives us life. Everything else, I don't want to say is meaningless, but everything else supports that.
Yeah. It's just so fun when like you're on set playing and being and like and stretching the different sides of me and you know.
And at the end of the day, I will say this, because going back to business, now more than ever, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's easier. It's easier to create your own path financially as it ever has been. You can create your own business. You can do coaching. You can teach yoga. You can figure out, what do I want to be an expert at? And let me find a way to sell it and create income for myself. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean, because when you own your own business, you're not working 40 hours a week. You're working 140 hours a week. Days off, what are those? But in my opinion, it's never been easier, at least to get the motivation to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a journey the whole way.
100%. You have to have the willpower. Yeah. You have to have the drive.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're not going to succeed as much as you want.
Yeah.
But that's in regards to like day jobs, because I don't work for anybody right now.
Yeah.
I work with people, but I don't work for anyone. And that's really important to me.
Yeah. No, I love that. So do you create any of your own stuff too?
I'm one of the few people who doesn't.
Okay.
I think I have ideas.
Yeah.
I think I can come up with stuff on the spot. I'm probably more along the lines of mainstream and corporate kind of. My art is mainstream and corporate, where it's like I'm getting hired by studios and by shows and, theater companies and stuff like that to teach. So
within playing in that realm, do you find it hard to have control over the direction and where your career goes?
I think you fall in line a little bit more. So I think you do fall in line a little bit more. But I also find you can be, as long as you own it and you know your boundaries, you can be as creative as you want on a Universal set just as much as an independent film that your friend and you wrote. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
As long as you're unapologetic about it and you know your boundaries. Like I just did a fun TV show where I was like a very large co-star for a new NBC comedy that's coming out. But I felt just as inclined to be like, I can play. Let me figure out, the world. It was the same people that did The Office and Superstore. And I'm like, okay, this is a set where I can, and I figured it out real quick. I'm like, this is a set where I can play. Let me just check in. Hey, can I play? Great, let's play. You know what I mean? Same with, I'm working on a project right now. I can't say much about it, but one of the biggest names in Atlanta, Georgia, you can pretty narrow it down. They own their own studios in Atlanta, but they're very open to playing and to improv.
That's awesome.
But you don't know until you get there.
Yeah.
And you want to honor their work and their vision. And so I call it, I think I've even said it to you, coloring outside the lines, but not scribbling on the page.
Yeah.
Because if you scribble on the page, it's just junk.
Yeah.
If you color out the lines, it's like, oh, that's interesting. That's fun.
Yeah. What would you say is like the difference between the auditioning world and being on set then?
I think being on set is more collaborative when it comes to the art. I think you can play, you can do, you can flex those muscles, you can be more creative. Auditioning, you are put into a little bit of a box, but I think if you proceed with, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And actually, someone just said it best, because Michael Keaton in an interview said he doesn't go into an audition with an ask. I want you to give me this job. I need you to give me this job. Can I have this job? And I think a lot of actors go into the audition going, this is my audition. Can I have this job? And he goes in, and I think, because even before I even heard about this, I was like, this is sort of what I do. It's like, I go, this is my chance to act for the day. This is my chance to show my art, to show who I am, to show what I'm good at. You're my audience. Cool.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, that's great. You still bought the ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. And if the person behind the desk doesn't like it, great. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
And they'll bring you in,
So I want to go back to the business side.
Okay.
A little bit more. So aside from the self-promotion stuff, what else do you do to kind of?
I check in with my team constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Okay.
I probably email them. This is outside of getting auditions, putting them in, and talking about business that's happening, like contracts and stuff, like bookings. I probably check in with everybody once a month. Okay. I send out an email going, hey guys, just want to let you know this is who I'm coaching with. This is what's coming up. This is what's happening in my life. Here's a reminder of my book out days. Also, here's my new reel. Here's my Actors Access. If you guys have any notes, let me know. If there's anything I need to add or subtract. Again, this is who I'm coaching with. If you recommend any other coaches, I let them be a part of the decision-making process. And because it's a team thing. Yeah. So I think it all stops and starts with the team. Yeah. And sometimes it's really hard to find a good team. Yeah. I know actors who have literally been like, well, my agent doesn't communicate with me. And it's one-line emails. And it's just like, oh, it sucks. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you go on IMDb Pro. I had a client today. We go on IMDb Pro. The agent has 517 clients. Where are you in that number? Yeah. You know what I mean? And he literally was like, oh, I'm probably in the mid 300s. Okay, great. Let's just say you're 320. You have 319 people in line before you, jumping up and down. You still got to make a presence. Yeah. And you still have to connect.
It's all about that relationship.
Yeah, it's totally about relationships. And it takes time. Yeah. It takes time. It can't happen overnight. I see a lot of people, get an agent and literally 2 months in, they're like, they're not sending me out. I'm dropping them. Yeah. Why are you in such a hurry? It's like, you're not going to call someone your girlfriend after 2 weeks or your boyfriend after 2 weeks. I mean, you might, and it could work out, but it's not normal,
Do you do anything to cultivate relationships with casting?
I follow people online and I engage, but I think what's really important about that, and what's really important about anything when engaging with anyone in this business, is that the engagement's not one-sided. It's not like, hey, what can you do for me? Yeah. It's more like, oh, I just met your cat and I saw your cat, the picture of your cat online. That's great. My cat looks the same way. Here's a picture. Yeah. Nothing about acting. Yeah. It has nothing to do with, you're not asking them to do you any favors. You're not saying, hey, you should bring me in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I coached with a casting director who works, and I'm like, hey, I noticed that you're friends with these two people and you actually are friends with them. If you guys ever want, I literally said, when I come back home from Atlanta, we should all go get Thai food one day. Yeah. What that is not an invitation for is for me going, here's my headshot, here's my resume, here's my reel, here's my. They're human beings. Treat them like human beings.
Yeah.
Just be human. Because if you there's a difference between thirst and hunger in this industry. I think thirsty is a bad word. I think hungry is a really good word.
Yeah.
Thirsty means you're dying. Like, to me, it's like thirsty to me is a negative. It's like, ooh, he's thirsty.
Yeah.
Oh, but when you think about it, it's like, I love my reps because they're really hungry. You don't say, oh, I love my reps because they're really thirsty.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound the same. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
So, yeah. I believe in self-promotion. I believe in tagging people who are involved as long as you're not being annoying.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I just had a really great audition. Thank you, manager, agent, for being great teammates.
Yeah. I love that.
You know what I mean? And then what's going to happen? They're going to go, oh, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
Reshare.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I have 6 other followers because
they did that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I've noticed that too. My stories always tend to pop whenever I post a thank you to my reps.
Your team, yeah.
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 And then like that just amps the engagement up.
Yep. Because you'd be surprised the selfishness in this business, and it's not just from one party, it's from everyone.
Yeah.
And I think actors sometimes forget that the other side is human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just gets caught up in the one side of the business.
Totally.
How about for like producers and for other filmmakers? Do you do any like kind of type of activity to get to cultivate relationships with them?
Me personally, no, not really. I'm like, I have a friend of mine who's a filmmaker, and we're just friends. And all of a sudden one day he's like, hey, do you want to be in a movie? Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
we'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, hey, can you come over and help me write something? Sure. And maybe that's when I get creative. It's like, let's write something. Do you think it'd be funnier this way? You know?
Yeah.
Exactly what we're doing here. You literally said, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? I didn't hem and haw about it. I was like, sure. When?
Yeah. I love that. And that's
like, and that's the organicness of it. Because one day when I make a movie, or if you make a movie and you feel that the other person might be a right fit, you're going to go to bat for them.
Absolutely.
Whether you're using a casting director or you're doing it yourself, you're going to be like, hey, Georgia, I think this person's great. Can you call them in?
Yeah.
It is a who you know business.
Yeah.
So cultivate those relationships. Don't be an asshole to people. It's too small.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this industry, but the successful is you could probably fit in one room. So just Yeah.
One last thing. So my podcast is called Dang Life Mastery.
Okay.
I like to the whole.
We're gonna get zen now. We're gonna get zen. I know we are.
It's about mastering the game of life.
Okay.
And as I'm on the process of doing that, I'm sharing that. And as I'm in the process of learning from others, I have the desire to share that. What's something that you would tell your younger self to master the game of life?
Oh my. Don't take anything too personally. Don't take anything personally. Even if it is personal, don't take it personally. You can't absorb other people's shit. You know what I mean? You can help them heal, but you have to protect yourself. You know what I mean? And there's nothing selfish about protecting yourself. You know? But don't take anything personally. If someone's having a bad day, let them have a bad day. You can try to talk them off the ledge. You can try to make them feel better. But don't let them in so much that it's like brings you down. Don't take it personally.
Everybody needs to go through what they're going through in a given moment. I believe.
You know, I had an acting teacher, and I come back to this so many times. I had an acting teacher. I think he still teaches in LA. But he would always say, I will never tell someone how to drive through a shitstorm. I will never tell you how to drive through a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things you have to experience.
You have
And
to feel it.
when you're on the other side of the storm, you go, I'm on the other side. And who knows, if you're lucky, you're out of the storm. But a lot of times we go through one storm and then breathe. Oh, here comes another one. You know what I mean?
I find that the universe has a tendency. I used to call them tests, but I don't call them tests anymore. The universe constantly has a tendency to give us what we need to elevate to the next level in a given time.
100%.
And if it's chaos has a beautiful way of giving lessons to elevate.
Yeah.
And that chaos is so necessary to go through at times.
100%. And I think the biggest lesson for anybody in this industry, whether or acting, music, creative, if you're a creative, and you're in this industry, I think it's really important to take care of yourself first. Take care of the human being first, which includes a spiritual practice. That could mean anything. That could mean taking a ritualistic walk. That could be meditating. That could be praying to whatever God you choose. Doesn't matter. But I do believe in rituals, and I do believe in mindset. You know what I mean? Yeah. I believe in taking care of yourself, whether you meditate or yoga, whatever spiritual thing you have to do to let go of the BS and to focus you, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And this is a 365 business, but you do not need to be in it 365.
Yeah.
You are allowed to take time off. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to, me personally, I feel like a very Taoistic about stuff where it's like, oh, I really want this job. No, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
But I'm also the kind of person, if I want a soda and I don't have $1, I'm not going to be like, oh, can I have $1? Can I have $1? Can I have $1? Instead, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't have $1. It's not meant to be right now. And then if somebody goes, oh, wait, you want a soda? Here's $1. It's meant to be right now. You know what I mean?
I'm curious. Do you do like visualization or manifestation stuff at all?
I think I've practiced a lot of the art of letting go. I have opportunity in front of me. I do my best. I complete the task. Just let it go. It's over. It's done.
Yeah.
I don't hold on to it. Even if I really, really want something, I try my best not to hold on to it. Because I feel like you hold on to it, you're putting weights in your pocket. Yeah. And then you're just walking through life just dragging. Yeah. You're putting more and more bricks in the backpack. Yeah. And it's like, no, I don't need to hold on to it. And I do that with my personal life too. If something's going on, I have to learn how to put everything in the box. Be like, I'm not ignoring this box, but I'm just putting it over here so it doesn't affect this. You know what I mean? Yeah. It sounds psycho, but
it's not. So then, like, what are some of those things that you do to stay non-attached?
I have a life outside of acting. I have a life outside of acting. I'm lucky enough and grateful to have a partner who's supportive. I have dogs. I have, my own life. I have my own world. Yeah. I have my own hobbies. Even detached from my loved ones. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I have my own circle of friends. I have my own thing. Yeah. I do the things that I enjoy. If I want to, lately what I've been doing before the summer heat really caught up to us, I would just go to the park. Yeah. I would literally take a blanket and go to the park. Yeah. Sometimes with my laptop, sometimes with my phone. And I would literally sit there. I think one day I sat there for like 8 hours, 9 hours, and just sat in the park and did absolutely nothing except like listen to Spotify, go on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. Just like cleared my head, had my own time. You know what I mean?
Being in nature is one of the most magical things we can do.
I got a coffee and I was just like, great. Yeah. Great. I'm in my place. That could be a beach to somebody. That could be on a rooftop for someone. It doesn't really matter, Yeah.
I love that.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
And treat yourself. Yeah. Whatever that means to you. If treating yourself to a good dinner is a reward for you, reward yourself.
Yeah.
If,
Absolutely.
you know, making a fruit salad is a reward for you, make it. Do it. You know what I mean? Just don't be destructive.
Last thing.
Hmm.
What's one of your favorite places to enjoy yourself here in LA, food-wise?
Oh, food-wise. Food-wise. Okay. And I would like to take you there one day if you've never been.
Sure.
In Van Nuys, we have one of the, I think, biggest Buddhist temples in the United States.
Really?
It's a Thai Buddhist temple. It's called Wat Thai.
Really?
And every weekend they have a street food market.
What?
At this Thai Buddhist temple. Every weekend you take cash, you buy these little plastic coins,
Okay.
and there's just little stalls and
Bro,
booths.
how have I not heard of this?
And there's
This
little
sounds
stalls and
incredible.
booths,
What?
and the temple's open.
Oh, dude.
And the temple's open, so it's all in this parking lot, and it's like you can have like your khao soi or your pad thai,
Yeah.
or like I think they have like alligator and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's as close to Thai street food as you're going to get.
Wow.
And it's also connected to this beautiful temple. When
Okay.
we're off camera, I'll show it to you because you have to see it.
Dude, I'm so down to go with you.
But I think it's in Van Nuys. There's a lot of stuff in Van Nuys that's ironically really weird, and that not really people know. Like there's a whole Japanese garden over there that's made with reclaimed water.
Really?
Yes.
There's a beautiful Japanese garden down here, actually, in Glendale.
Yes, in Glendale, in the big park.
Yeah.
But there's one. It's like $5 to get in.
Okay.
And it's like on Sherman Way by where all the reclaimed water is. So some days it smells great, some days it doesn't. But it's
That's beautiful.
So that's what I like to do.
I love that. Tony.
Boom Shaka.
It's been beautiful. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Let me show you that now.
Yeah.
Bye guys.